and love for a kid. I mean, I think that relationship is really pivotal in terms of bridging the gap between an educator and a parent or guardian.
Okay. So within your experience, now that we know the difference between a teacher and a parent is the title itself, what do you think DC can do in terms of resources, and how would those resources better help you do what you would like to do in the education setting? Very long-winded.
Yo, Juice, you got some deep questions. This is good though.
Take your time. Yeah.
This is good. I think it really is about listening, right? I mean, I think as professionals, it's easy to like read things that or learn about buzzwords in education, and to understand education from a theoretical perspective. But like the practical piece is really important. And so I think in order to tap into that, like you just got to listen to what people are saying, you know? And I think it's easy to like say, this is my agenda as an educator. This is where I need to get your kid, or this is where we're moving in terms of, you know, achievement. But like the reality is, if it, you know, you might understand that from a theoretical standpoint, but like it's important to get the people who you're serving to understand that too, and that may look very different. And so I think, like I said, everybody wants the same thing at the end of the day. It's just how do we get there? And I think a part of that process is listening to the people and asking them what they want and what they need. And the reality is there's a lot of great things happening in DC. There's a lot of great organizations that are doing great work. And I think creating a platform where, you know, people can, you know, showcase that, because, you know, those programs very well may be what your school or what a community needs in order to thrive and push that initiative forward.
Okay. Now, you've reached out to me before because you said you wanted us to do some mental health and wellness events at your school that you work at. Let's talk about the rules and regulations that DC has and how that gets in the way of furthering the process. Because funds are limited and what you guys can really do is limited.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's also a very good question. I think the biggest limitation is understanding the system.
Yeah.
And I think that goes way beyond DC. I think that's like a national thing. Like you just got to understand the system. I think things can become very political at times. And I think politics can get in the way of like what needs to happen and what needs to be done for kids and for communities. And so I think it's twofold. I think it's important to have an agenda and have a purpose for what you want to see. But I think understanding and knowing how to navigate the politics of that is also very important.
Yeah.
Because when you have the right people on your side, you can actually do anything. And so I think politics is one of the biggest pieces. And then just being able to have, like, it doesn't have to be on a large scale, but just like having the record to say that, hey, look, I've done this work on a smaller scale.
Yeah.
And it's been successful, and this is how it's been successful, and like getting people to buy into what it is that you're trying to do, I think is also a big piece as well. Because, you know, there's money out there. You know, there's organizations that are doing the work that you want to see happen, but it's all about like how you communicate it. Do you have the record to show that like this is worth me investing in?
All right, so resource-wise, what holds schools back to reaching out to outside groups when it comes to bringing wellness and mental health to the education space?
I think a lot of it's just bureaucracy, like, and...
But tell me about the value of that bureaucracy. Because like we